I'm Bethany Warntjes, real estate agent with Adashun. Today, together, we are going to analyze the data from the month of December for the last month of 2025. We will take a look at the single-family home housing market in the city of Fond du Lac. So first of all, I want you to know that the amount of homes that sold was normal. What I mean by this is that in December, there was mid-30s for the amount of homes that sold. Last year, similar amount sold. So we didn't see tons more selling or way less selling. It was pretty normal. Then, how much was our median home price for December? Well, 2025. For 2025, it was in the low 200s all year, and 2025 was actually the lowest of the entire year. So why is median home price is important? It's important so that you know what a middle of the road home in the city of Fond du Lac is like. So for our 2025, what was closest to that sold, that could be a good example for you to take a look at. That would be 304 East 11th Street. Now this was a 3-bed, 1-bath with a 1-car garage on an average size city lot, about 0.14, and it was around 1,400 square feet. It did not have an updated bath or kitchen, but it did have that nice charm and character with your arches as well as some nice wood floors. And that is what you could get for 201 that closed in the month of December. Every month, I look what sold under, at, and above asking price. And I figure out what is the most dominant category, what is happening with the most houses, so we know what to expect. For December, under was the most dominant category. That was 47%. So you pretty much had a chance of selling around 50-50 because this was 53%. So if you're trying to figure out where am I going to sell, well, you can see looking at December's data, it's telling you have about a 50-50 chance to go either direction. For those that did sell above, how much over did they go? Well, about 3/4 of them that sold above went 9 to 14 over. So as a seller, when you're wondering if I go above, how much over, or as a buyer, how much over should I be offering, I'm saying about 75% did that 9 to 14 over. What about breaking this down by price point? Well, the 200s saw the most selling at or above. That was about 70%. And then from there, the 100s and 300s, they were around half selling at or above. But when it came to the 400s plus, none of them were selling at or above. It was pretty much under. So what to expect and what price point? Well, that tells the story. How long did it take to accept an offer? I always look at what's the most dominant category. Well, of the houses that sold in December, 62% of them accepted an offer in around 1 week's time. So that's a good chunk. Then I often look at about 1 month as well. So whether that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, around 1 month, even if it's a couple days over a month. And that was 76% in about that 1 month's time. So here's what I want you to know as sellers. Pay attention in your first 1 to 2 weeks on the market. How does that go? You will know if you are in this 62%. If you're not, take a deeper look. Should you make a price adjustment to try to get into that 3/4 that landed in a month? And if you've passed that 1 month mark or about hitting that month and a half, it's important to take a deeper dive into that. How many houses are currently on the market right now? It's in the 70s, and that comes down from last month, but seasonally, that is more expected, and this is in line with last year. So pretty normal actually for our amount of inventory. It's important to take a look at this breakdown though and figure out how many are available and how many are under contract. So 59% are available. So why does that matter? It means that there are more available than under contract. So sellers, you have a little bit more competition out there than before. And buyers, if a house passes 2 weeks on the market, it likely won't be a competitive multiple offer situation anymore unless we see something like a price drop was just done or there's some big drop in mortgage rates or something like that. Otherwise, if you pass that point, likely not a competitive offer situation. The last thing I want to talk about is interest rates. And I want to talk about the fact of $200 billion that Trump has talked about putting into mortgage-backed securities. This is just talk. And at this point, we don't know when that'll happen, if that will happen. But there was a reaction to that, and rates did come down just a little bit. So we are upper 5s and about 6. So I don't know how long that will last, if we will stay there, if we will go back up to the low 6s. But for right now, we are in the upper 5s and about 6 when you're looking at interest rates. So 6 has kind of been that magical number that we've been hoping for, to get 6 or under, as we've been in low 6s for a while. So it's a great time to talk to your lender and take a look at what that affordability looks like, if it's any better seeing that we're 6 or a little bit under. So hopefully this breakdown of data helps you out to better see what's going on in the city of Fond du Lac market, and I'm always happy to answer any more questions. Hopefully this deep dive helped you, whether you are a buyer or a seller. I'm Bethany Warntjes with Adashun Jones.